2nd at 5:15 p.m. The DHS worker called me.
Lucretia McMillan.
They called me saying that if Roxanne is anywhere near my house, that they would take my daughter and put her in foster care.
And this came on April 22nd, 2010, where in the morning a DHS social worker returned their 3-year-old daughter, Desirea Thomas Daniels, to the home and was recorded being told why we had a need to record, why the Thomas Daniels family wanted to record all the conducts and so far since 4/6/2010 first encounter. Lakeisha Kenyatta and Lucretia McMillan are recorded for deliberately mismanaging records, and Anne Marie Ambrose is recorded for having taken Desirea Daniels' live by telephone conversation complaint, assigning a complaint number, and DHS is doing what they usually do here in the city of Philadelphia. The legal department, the management, the executives, Anne Marie Ambrose and the deputy commissioners, and the social workers all play this cat and mouse role of records mismanagement that pretends to not know what the heck is going on, no personal accountability. Desirea Daniels and Frank Thomas are on three recorded files this morning of one DHS worker that returned to home, and then followed up in the next 20 minutes from the Northeast Treatment Center. A home safety evaluator came, heard that saw all the evidence that there was no child abuse. Our issues are that Lakeisha Kenyatta and Lucretia McMillan have fraudulently reported Desirea Daniels as a child abuser on postmarked on the 14th and dated in a letter to the Child Registry Abuse Center on April 13th, one day after Temple University doctors ruled out any child abuse and confirmed that there was an authentic in-home accident and 3 years of responsible care, regular office visits, immunizations, and regular treatment for common colds and earaches by the parents Frank Thomas and Desirea Daniels. We pointed out to the social workers the reason we had to record everything is because from the onset, Lucretia McMillan and Lakeisha Kenyatta are deleting the father's name off of important documents, safety plan inspection, which will result in him being deleted from any case captions and being barred from courtrooms that have to do with what's in the best interest of their daughter. They are trying to force a commercial transaction. They are imposing themselves in this family's life. They are committing slander, defamation of character. They were advised
Trafficking.
human trafficking. They were advised that all the evidence, the timeline, the documentation of their conduct says no matter what this family does, they have set it up to block anyone who would want to have this child in the family, take care of it, so that this child has to go to a DHS paid foster contractor. They ruled out the grandmother, the maternal grandmother. They fraudulently reported the mother a child abuser. They ruled out they didn't offer to send the child back to the cousin's house. They literally threatened her this afternoon at 2:53. Anne Marie Ambrose would not take my calls. I left a detailed message on Lucretia McMillan's voicemail informing her that this is going to be an official corruption fraud civil rights case, not for liability against City Department of Human Services only, although they will be held accountable. However, these two social workers, Lakeisha Kenyatta and Lucretia McMillan, are acting unlawfully, not only according to this family's constitutional rights. And Mr. Francis Beatrice, please don't call his family anymore giving them unsolicited legal advice about what's legal to record. When you're in a federal court, you can admit evidence, recorded evidence of entities and people who force commercial transactions with you. All right? You are forcing your way into this family's home. You're alluding to having services that you want them to take. You're lying about them refusing services that you never offered. Okay, so it is legal for them to record you, and it would be accepted at a jury trial as evidence in a federal court. And all our evidence package has been hand delivered, of course, to Anne Marie Ambrose in the legal department. But more importantly, it has been jettisoned by certified mail on DVD disc with active links, 44-page PDF file, and 5 videos of the family and the proofs that we have of these DHS social worker misconduct. They are breaking even DHS policies and children's protective policies, and it's also going to the U.S. Government Accountability Office that does track and see who's siphoning the money, who's stealing the money from federally funded agencies. With City of Philadelphia, Department of Human Services gets a lot of money from the federal funding CPS laws. And now they've actually keep calling her back over and over and over again and saying, do you understand that if Roxanne Grinage is there tomorrow, we're going to have to put your kids in foster care? Go on and say, did you say, go on, say what they said.
They said, if Roxanne is anywhere near or around the house, that they will take my daughter and put her in foster care. And they asked me numerous times, do I understand? And I kept repeating yes over and over again. And they called me back to ask me again, do I understand if Roxanne is near the house that my daughter will be taken? They said they was wanting to know.
Did they say what reason would be why your daughter would be taken? Is that a DHS policy and procedure that Roxanne Grinage is anywhere around administrating and documenting your crimes, that all children have to go into foster care? Is that the latest excuse now? And in today's Daily News, April 22nd, the stats came out today. The Daily News is reporting on you, as you know, Janice Brown. They've reported on the Janice Brown debacle, how you victimized that family. They reported on how you victimized Sparkle Ballard, and how you're victimizing 40% of the population of Philadelphia families here. And the numbers are out today in this Daily News, and this will be part of our evidence, not just in the U.S. District Court, but for President Obama, for the 1983 Civil Rights Immunity Act language that you constantly abuse, and for First Lady Michelle Obama, for the sake of quality of life for American families, and the U.S. Government Accountability Office that is interested in the fraud the U.S. economy fraud you are perpetrating. And our class action against you, the Thomas Daniels families is one of the plaintiffs in our class action that we're ready to move on here in Philadelphia against Department of Human Services and specified names of social workers. And you're going to be named in it, okay? Lucretia McMillan and Lakeisha Kenyatta, for the willful, reckless child endangerment that you are inflicting upon this family. You've already inflicted trauma injuries on that little girl who was forced to stay away from her family. You created a lie. You acted without authority and unlawfully when you imposed supervised visitations on her without petitioning the court for an order. You're deleting the father's name off of important paperwork that will cause him to be barred from courtrooms. And you're stripping this family of their right to protect their family by making fraudulent, slandering claims. And now I don't know what the basis could possibly be now that you've added if Roxanne Grinage is present. Because you know that if Roxanne Grinage is present, I'm going to document it and I'm going to report it aggressively using the internet technologies and using our civil rights and our constitutional rights. That's them calling now. We're going to stop.